Welcome to Consumer Math, Math Review, math lesson for lesson 1.3 about income. We're going to be looking at three key concepts here: calculating a simple profit or loss. We'll look at more complex versions later in the course. Calculating a mean of a set of values or a sample of values, and calculating the median of a set of values. So starting back up here with our problem set number 1, we have calculating profit or loss. This is a very simple calculation to determine where we're at the end of a loss, where we buy something for some amount and then we later sell it for another amount. We take that sale price, that latter price, and we subtract from that our purchase price. That is what we spent to obtain it. If the result is positive, congratulations, you profited and owe some taxes on that. If the result is negative, then you took a loss. You lost money on that item. So for instance, if your parents thought Beanie Babies were the wave of the future and they spent $100 on Beanie Babies and then they went to sell them and could only get $5 for them, they took a loss because their sale price was lower than the purchase price, meaning that they did not get back what they spent on them. So look at a couple of quick examples. And our first example is right down here. What if we purchased some investment for $400 and then we sold it for $300? Well, our formula is that we take the sale price, which was $300, and we subtract the purchase price, which was $400. And over here, if I take 300 and subtract 400, I get a negative result, which indicates I lost my pen function here. Hang on. Try that again. Ooh, I apologize. I had some kind of pen error there. But I end up with a negative $100, meaning I lost $100 because I sold it for less than I bought it for. We'll look at another example. What if and let's actually change this. We're going to make this $1,000. So in this case, I purchased for $600 and sold for $1,000. Looking back, our formula is sale price minus purchase price. So we're going to start with the sale price of $1,000 and subtract the purchase price of $600. 1,000 minus 600. Oops. 600, of course, is 400. That is a positive value, which means I have a $400 profit. That's simple. All right, then we're going to look at calculating a mean. So a mean, or we've also heard this described as just a general average, is the sum of my samples, meaning I'm going to add each of my values divided by the number of my samples. So I'm going to count my samples and divide by that number. A mean can be helpful in learning some information, but we're going to see some examples of why a mean is not always the best value to look at, because it's very sensitive to what we call outliers, or values that deviate significantly from most other values. So we're going to see some examples of it here. We're going to look at sample question C. And this asks for a mean of 34, 64, 92, 25, 46, 38, and 94. So it's important when we calculate a mean, we're going to add all of these values. I'm just going to throw in some pluses here. We're going to add all of these values, and we're going to divide by the number of values. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values. With my calculator, I want to be sure I add all of these and hit equals to find that sum. If I add all of these and get to 94 and then do divided by 7, it's going to add these plus 94 over 7, and that will not be accurate. So we have 34 plus 64 plus 92. Watching very carefully, we're prone to input error. Plus 25 plus 46 plus 38 plus 94. And I want to hit equals here and actually write the sub-step. This is going to save you time and effort and make sure you get a correct answer. Then I'm going to take that 393 and divide it by 7. To get a mean, we're going to estimate to 2 decimal places here, of 56.14. So the mean average of this set of numbers is 56.14. What happens when I look at this set of salaries? So perhaps at a company we have an employee making $84,000, one making $38,000, another making $28,000, and one making $37,000. What is the average salary at this company? So we want to clear all previous results. We want to add these numbers and divide by how many samples I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I'm going to add these salaries and divide by 4. So I have 84,000 plus 38,000 plus 28,000 plus 37,000. Then I'm going to hit equals after all of my adding and get that subtotal. The best shortcut is to do it right the first time. Divide that by 4. And now we can divide by 4. And we get about 46,750. Okay, now that 46,750, that is higher than 1, 2, 3 of these 4 employees. So is it fair to say, for instance, that most of these people make about 46,000? Not really. Most of them make under 40,000. This one person, maybe a manager, makes more, and that throws off the average. That's why a mean alone is not always the best way to look at numbers that affect populations. So this is where we might look at a median. And the median is, let me squish this over a little. Squish. All right, the median is the middle value when we align all of the values in order from least to greatest. If there's an even number of samples, we're going to have 2 numbers in the middle, in which case we'll take the average or mean of those 2 central values. So we'll see middle or central. So let's take a look at this. Median of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. The first step is to rewrite them in order from least to greatest. If I have duplicates, I still list those. So for instance, I have 29. 29 again, 30, 38, 39, 48, 93, and 384. Okay, and then I have 8 values, so I'm going to take my middle 2 or my 4th and 5th values, 1, 2, 3, 4th, and 5th. These 2 numbers, and I'm going to average them, meaning I add them together and divide by 2. Same thing, 38 plus 39 equals, then divide by 2. And we get 38.5. Now that number is a pretty good representation of what most people make at this. If this were, say, annual salaries in thousands, these 2 people are making way more than the rest, but this number is pretty close to the majority of employees. And we'll see that again with this last example. We have a median of 29,000, 230,000, some kind of superintendent or CEO, vice president, something along those lines, 28,000 and 30,000. So we're going to list these in order from least to greatest. 28,000. 29,000, 30,000, and 230,000. Okay, so to find the median of these four values, we're going to look at the middle two, 29,000 and 30,000. So we're going to average these, 29,000 plus 30,000. There's two numbers there, so we're going to divide by 2. 29,000 plus 30,000 equals, want to find that subtotal, then divided by 2 is 29,500. So we see how this median salary of 29,500, that is a pretty close reflection to 3 of these 4 salaries and is not overly skewed by this executive making 230,000. So once you've completed this, go ahead and work the math practice questions on quizzes to check yourself and see if you're prepared for the math section. If there's anything you don't understand, come by during our lunchtime or during our class time, or come by and see me after school. I'm glad to work with you one-on-one. Have a great day.